Hello everybody, it is Bring On the Bjorn, and I have not made a video in quite a long time, and I look really weird because of this new haircut and stuff, but you know, it will grow back, I guess. So, well, I know, but anyway, so today I wanted to talk about, well, two things. First, the video is going to be about Volta and the period of the Volta, like just the time period that was her latest album. So, second thing is, my next video is going to be about a contest that I'm doing, and I will explain the what you do and how you win and what you win on that video. So that's the next video, which will be uploaded in a few minutes after I finish this one. So for today, I'm going to be talking about Volta, specifically about the different editions that were released. So, of course, there is the standard edition. As we all know, I think I've been very vocal about this. I don't like digipack kind of things like this. It just doesn't suit me very well. But you know, you live with what you get, I guess. So, because I didn't like this, I made my own jewel case version, and it's just the exact same stuff, but it's just in a jewel case. And I know that they had released them on jewel case before, but I did not purchase it, and this was just as easy to do because, you know, you just print out the stuff and cut it out to the correct sizes, and everything is hunky-dory. Okay, and then we have the vinyl edition. Large, beautiful. This I am perfectly okay with because it is a vinyl, and you do get them like, not like this, but it comes like with more of a digipack kind of feel, whereas, you know, this doesn't. You can get it in jewel case, which I would prefer. So we have vinyl, and we have, last but not least, I'm sure there was more releases, but this is just what I have. Voltaic. So, now that we've seen all of those, I'm going to talk about Volta itself. The name of the album came from an Italian scientist named, hold on a second, I had it up here on my computer. Okay, quite the name he has. Alessandro Giuseppe Antonio Anastasio Girolamo Umberto Volta. He was an Italian physicist, and he invented the battery. And I feel like that actually had something to do with the album itself, because it is quite an electric, explosive album, if you will. Very different from her previous releases. Now, one thing that I have noticed about Bjork is she kind of does her albums in phases, or at least we as fans put them into time periods, almost in twos. So the first time period was debut and post. Those were like her big albums. They were very popular, multi-platinum kind of things. And, you know, then the whole thing with Ricardo Lopez happened, and she moved from London to, was it back to Iceland or New York, something like that. And then her sound changed. And then that's where we have the kind of homogenic Vespertine era, and then we have Medulla and Volta and Biophilia, and we're waiting on what's coming next. So I feel like she does her albums in kind of like these sorts of, like, she goes through phases of sound. And Volta was quite the sound. Now, I'm going to talk about the sounds of the record. or like the songs. Okay, so Earth Intruders, very very good song. Um, One of Bjork's top selling songs since Post. Wanderlust was amazing. The video got some awards because it was so awesome. The Dull Flame of Desire. She did this with Anthony Haggerty, and he is part of a band called Anthony and the Johnsons, and he has had 4 albums out. I love him too. My favorite song from him is Ghost off of the album Swan Lights, just so you know. And that one is kind of more of a tribal sound. And Innocence is also, it kind of reminds me of Earth Intruders because of its explosive nature. I See Who You Are. I really don't like this track. Volta has gems. It has a few gems in it. I would say the gems of the album are Earth Intruders, Wanderlust, Innocence, Vertebrae by Vertebrae, and Declare Independence. So that's 4 songs, I think. Intruders, Wanderlust, Innocence, Vertebrae, Declare. Okay, 5. So half of the album is a gem, in my opinion. But the rest of it just doesn't do it for me. And that's really sad because most of Bjork's albums I'm able to listen through the entire thing, and I love it so much. But with this album, I skip tracks. I skip I See Who You Are, Pneumonia, Hope. I mean, that's like 3 tracks that I skip, which I never do with Bjork. So, that in itself tells me something about this album. It is a good album. It really is. But I feel like there's just some tracks that aren't very pleasing. And I don't particularly like it. She worked with Timbaland and Danger and quite a lot of other people on this album. It's more of her, and then she did like this tour of called Voltaic, and that, she's always been kind of like a more quiet, or like a quiet person and very reserved. But this was kind of her outlet to be loud and explosive, and she did that on her tours. If you watch the video for Voltaic, the movie of the concert, it is a concert. I went up to New York and saw Biophilia, and that reminded me of her previous concerts. Vespertine concert was more of a intimate kind of quiet, very stringy, as in stringy, just beautiful sound. And so the accompanying tour for Voltaic or Volta was so much more commercial, I would say. It's more commercial. Bjork does not feel that way. She does not feel that this album was any more commercial than her other albums, but I do, just because of the sound in particular. So, final thoughts. I wish that it would have come in a jewel case, and I wouldn't have had to have made mine. I think that she could have left off a few tracks, such as I See Who You Are, Pneumonia, Hope. And I think that if she did that, the album would have been top notch, extremely top notch. So, yes, that is how I feel about Volta. At one point, it was my favorite album by Bjork, but that was just because some of my favorite songs are on there. Again, the whole gems, there's a few really, really great songs on there. And then there's, a bunch of crap. No offense, Bjork. You are beautiful and amazing. So, those are my thoughts on Volta. That's some background on the album, the different versions that it had out, and I hope that this video has been informational. So, thank you for watching.